Have you ever felt forgotten? As if the world kept moving and left you behind? As if no one saw your worth anymore? As if no one loved you anymore? This is the story of León, an old lion who once was king of the savannah, but now lives forgotten among rocks and dry winds. There was a time when León roared and all the animals fell silent. His name meant respect, his stride majesty. But age came and with it wounds, first to the body, then to the soul. He was left behind. The pride moved on, younger, stronger. León was no longer useful, no longer fast enough to hunt, nor fierce enough to defend. In their eyes he had become a burden, and so he was forgotten. Forgotten by his own, forgotten by his friends, forgotten even by himself. Now León wandered alone among dry stones and cold shadows. Heavy paws, lowered head, lifeless eyes. Who am I? He murmured. Why doesn't God just take me? If no one loves me anymore, what am I doing here? At night, when the sky filled with stars and the cold reached his bones, León cried. He didn't roar anymore. He cried silently, a sob with no sound. The kind of sob from someone who no longer asks for anything, just understands they've lost everything. It was as if the whole world had forgotten he existed. But there was someone who still saw him, even if León didn't know, even if he couldn't feel it. And maybe, like him, you've also felt that way, alone, invisible, forgotten. But stay with me, because this story isn't over yet. And maybe, like León, you'll discover that even when no one loves you anymore, God still sees you. Time doesn't go back, but sometimes it echoes, lying on the hard ground. León looked up at the sky like someone searching for an answer that never comes. The wind blew gently, carrying memories that hurt more than silence. He remembered his youth, the silent applause of the savannah when he walked by, the sparkling eyes of cubs who looked up to him, the lioness he once loved, the pride in his strength, the honor in being a leader. But all that seemed so distant, like a dream you wake from and can't return to. León closed his eyes and listened, but what he heard weren't good memories. They were voices. You're old. You're useless now. You only slow us down. Or just lie down and die. Words that maybe no one said exactly like that. But he kept each one like spears in the heart. León's greatest pain wasn't the wounds on his body. It was the void of abandonment, the weight of believing that the love he once received now had an expiration date. He thought, if even my own don't want me anymore, if no one looks for me, then who will love me? And maybe you've heard similar voices too. People who left, love that grew cold, friendships that went silent. But listen closely. The voice of God never abandons those who are down. Even when the world forgets, he still whispers, my child, I see you, and I still love you. That morning, the sun seemed to mock León. It shone fiercely over the dry plains, but nothing warmed the lion's heart. He walked slowly, aimlessly, not lost in the world, but within himself. That's when he heard a sharp, persistent sound, a cray-craw that pierced the silence of solitude. It was a crow, black as night, perched on a crooked branch, eyes fixed on him. Well, well, who would have thought, said the crow with sarcasm. The king of the savannah. Now just a pathetic old lion wandering without purpose. León stopped. He didn't respond, but something in his chest ached. Not from the words, but because he believed them. What's wrong? The crow pushed, smirking. Going to roar? Scare me off? Oh, right. You don't have strength anymore, do you? No one fears you. No one loves you. León lowered his head, not because he agreed, but because he was too tired to fight with words. You used to be someone, the crow continued, circling him. But look at you now, old bones and empty eyes. Are you going to die alone here? Is that what you want? León looked up to the sky, eyes moist, and murmured, I just wanted for someone to still see me, for someone to still believe I'm worth something. The crow fell silent for a moment, then simply flew away, as if it had said what it came to say, and left a wound open to bleed. León remained there alone once more, but now not just sad, angry, not at the crow, but at himself, for letting pain become his identity, for forgetting that he still breathed. And at that exact moment, the sky began to change. Heavy clouds formed, and the first drop of rain fell upon León's worn mane. It was the signal of a storm, but also the hint of a turning point. The rain didn't fall gently. It poured from the heavens as if the sky itself was weeping from within. And León didn't run, didn't seek shelter. He simply lay there under the fury of the thunder. Each drop felt like a cruel reminder, you are alone. No one came. No one will. The lion, drenched, body trembling, soul in shreds, let out a weak roar, almost a whisper. Ah. His voice was lost in the wind, but he continued now in tears. Where are you, Lord? I was king, I was strong, I was loved. And now no one wants me, not even my own. Doesn't even the Lord see me? The sobs came hard. Not the sobs of someone who lost something, but of someone who lost the meaning of everything. León bowed until his face touched the wet earth. His chest heaved, breathing heavy, and he cried out, God, if you still see me, speak to me. Show me I still belong to you, because I have no one left. The sky roared, but not in anger. It was as if the thunder replied, I heard you. The rain began to ease. The wind calmed, and for a moment silence reigned. A thick silence, dense. That's when León felt it. It wasn't a vision. It wasn't a voice all could hear. It was a presence, gentle, real, warm. He opened his eyes, confused. His heart raced. He felt that someone, or something, was there with him. Who's there? He asked, voice trembling. No direct answer came. Just a certainty, deep as the soil beneath him. You are not alone. León closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long while, he felt peace. The storm inside him was beginning to calm, because when no one loves you anymore, the God still sees you. The angel's presence faded like a fragrance that lingers even after its source is gone. But something inside León had changed. Not outwardly, inwardly. He no longer felt alone. The rain had stopped. The night was clear. And his heart, finally at rest. In the days that followed, León began walking again, not with haste, but with purpose. He looked at the trees with reverence, at the stones with gratitude, at his own breath as a miracle. And there, in the simplicity of the desert, he began to hear another voice, a voice older than pain, stronger than abandonment, sweeter than any memory. The voice of God, not in thunder, but in small things. You are still mine. Not because of what you do, not because of what you were, but because I chose you. León began to understand that his identity wasn't in being the king of the savannah, not in his muscles or the roar that once silenced the forest. His identity was in being a child of God, loved, seen, chosen, and in that realization, something bloomed. A new roar, not a roar of war, but of life. I am León, he said aloud. And even if the world left me behind, God never did. Oh, I am loved. Those words echoed through the mountains like a hymn. And maybe that is your forgotten truth too. You are not what others have said. You are not what you lost. You are what God sees when he looks at you, someone precious, irreplaceable and deeply loved. The desert that once felt like a prison was now an altar. León had discovered his true identity, and with it came something he never expected, a mission. That morning, while walking the damp trails of the savannah, León saw something that caught his eye. A young gazelle, wounded, trapped in dry branches, trembling with fear. In the past, he would have ignored it, maybe even hunted it, but now his eyes saw differently. Calm down. I won't hurt you, León whispered, gently approaching. The little one trembled, but León lay beside it, quiet, until the gazelle understood it was safe. That was the beginning of a new chapter. León began caring for those no one else saw. The weak, the wounded, the forgotten, like he once was. Other animals started approaching, first with fear, then with curiosity, and finally with trust. Are you the old lion? They asked, the one who was left behind. And he answered with a smile, I am León. the one seen by God. Days went by and a small group began forming around him, not a pride of power, but a family of the restored, each with their own scars, each with their own story, but all with something in common. They were reached by the one who was once reached by God. León no longer roared to show strength. Now his silence carried authority. His care revealed power. He had discovered that love doesn't die with rejection. It is reborn when we allow ourselves to be loved by heaven, even when forgotten by earth. Time passed, and with it León flourished. There was no more fear in his eyes, no more bitterness in his words. There was a quiet peace, a gentle confidence. He was a redeemed lion, but one day something different happened. As the sun rose over the horizon, painting the savannah with gold and hope, León heard footsteps, many footsteps. Turning around, he saw his old pride, the same one that had left him, the same one that once called him a burden. They were thin, worn out, lost. At the center stood the new leader, young, arrogant, but now frightened. There was fear in his eyes. "León," he said hesitantly, "we came because we need help. We were attacked. We have no home. We're lost." León looked at them. The silence was heavy. All eyes were on him, and then he did what few would. He forgave. "Follow me," he said with a firm and compassionate gaze. "There is shelter here. There is peace." He opened his land, his heart, and the new family embraced the former enemies. In that moment, a different light appeared in the sky, and before them all the angel returned. Yes, he came back. "León," said the heavenly messenger, "God saw every one of your steps, every tear, every silence, every act of love. You were faithful when no one applauded. You were loyal when there was only forgetting. And today, God honors your journey." León fell to his knees. The tears came, but now they were not from pain. And the angel continued, "God's gift to you is not a crown of gold. It is something more eternal, a mission fulfilled, a transformed heart, a life that inspired other lives. You were loved all along, León, and now the whole world will know." With that, the angel departed, and León stood tall, before everyone, before heaven, not as the lion he once was, but as the lion who understood that when no one loves you anymore, God still sees you. If you've made it this far, it's because this story touched your heart. Maybe like León, you've been left behind. Maybe you feel invisible, abandoned, as if no one sees your worth anymore. But listen carefully. God still sees you. He knows your pain. He saw your tears. He heard the muffled cry that no one else did. And he is telling you now, "My child, you were never alone." It doesn't matter who walked away. It doesn't matter who failed to value you. God's love for you never had an expiration date, and he still believes in your future, even if you no longer do. Don't give up. Choose today to look up. Choose to trust again. Choose to stand and declare, "Even if no one loves me anymore, God does, and that is enough." If this message touched your heart, comment below, "God, I know you still see me." Let's build a chain of faith in the comments. You are not alone. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And subscribe to the channel for more messages like this. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single story that heals, comforts, and strengthens. And remember, when everything feels silent, it may be that heaven is about to respond. Stay with God, and until the next video,